Hey, hello guys, welcome to my channel, and in today's video we're going to discuss about how much JavaScript you should know before learning any framework like Angular or React. I just wanted you to know that why I have created this video. The whole purpose of creating this video is people are asking like how much JavaScript we should learn before jumping into the any framework like Angular or React. So most of the people I have seen, they directly jump into the React and Angular when they really face a really hard time to learn these frameworks. And yeah, many people I have seen, they are still learning JavaScript and they are spending a lot of time on learning JavaScript, and they literally they end up with like frustration and they will not move to any framework. So before that, I just wanted to clear in this video that the whole purpose of getting this video is so you can get to know that how much JavaScript you should learn actually. What are the core features those are important to move into the framework. So I will explain everything. I will explain you all the method that you need to learn, all the features that you need to learn from this JavaScript library like vanilla JavaScript. And after learning only this concept, all those features, you can directly jump into the any framework or Angular. So you don't have to spend that much time on vanilla JavaScript. So JavaScript is really vast and you cannot learn everything. Okay, so I'm simply telling you, you cannot learn everything. JavaScript is really vast and it is containing a lot of stuff. If you're a beginner, you don't need to learn everything from the JavaScript. So let's begin with this video. So first of all, I just wanted to ask you a question. Is your next career target to master a modern framework like React, Angular or Vue.js? Then you don't have to spend months of practicing like vanilla JS. So, but it is vital for you to have a solid understanding of its core concepts, because so everything you're going to use, it is built on the top of JavaScript only. So like for example, like callback functions and timers use closures, and the state modifiers rely on the pure functions, and every resource you will ask the backend for will be sent back synchronously, and for that you will definitely need to use promises or async await or anything like this. So you can clearly see how not only is mandatory to have great knowledge of these concepts, but it is simply more efficient for you, right? So you have the knowledge that many developers miss, and you can speed up your learning up to 3 times. So you can succeed in an interview and never be afraid of new features, technology that may arise if you know all about these features. So in this video, you will find a list of vital concepts that you need in your web development stack, and the way to learn them easily. All the resources I will provide in this video. So please watch till the end. Don't miss a single second in this video. So I will talk about understanding scoping, hosting and closure stuff. Then I will talk about how to manipulate data and what are the methods that you need to learn from JavaScript, what are the important one and what you can skip. Then we'll talk about the pure functions, and after that we'll talk about the asynchronous JavaScript and object-oriented JavaScript. In the end, we'll talk about the recap of the core ES6 concepts that you need to learn, really need to learn actually. Then in the end, we'll have this conclusion, what we came out of this video. In the end, we'll discuss about that. So for now, let's continue with our list. So in the list, we have the first one, understanding scoping, hosting and closure. Did you know that JavaScript is in fact a compiled language? You don't know. I bet you don't know. And did you know that its weird compilation process is responsible for the creation of asynchronous behavior like scope, rules and variables, accessing and closures? No, right? So basically these concepts are literally all over the code whenever you write them. From loops to timers and callback function. It is just so important that you understand why variables in your code will end up the way they do when you write in. So to learn about this, the greatest resource I can recommend is the first book of the You Don't Know JavaScript guide. So don't get scared by the name of the book. It is just a 5-page long, and it will give you a fresh view on everything you did up to this moment. Now let's talk about the second thing. So the second thing is know how to manipulate the data. So basically array and objects are the data structures you will work with the most in your day-to-day life, and especially when it comes to rendering components in your modern framework applications, you should have a solid grasp on how to manipulate them into as you wish, right? So the one that I recommend are map, filters, reducer, sort and includes, etc. for the arrays, and split, join, reverse, etc. for the strings. So, and you will explore more as you learn more stuff in the framework. So I have mentioned all the links of these videos for like learning all these methods, and the documents that you can read for these methods I have mentioned in the description section. So don't forget to uh, click on the description or view the description section because I have added all the resources there. Then let's talk about the pure functions. So functional programming seems to be the next big breakout in the dev world, and it is also the principle behind pure functions, which you may find in React, for examples like when you're working with reducers, and NGRX if you're working with Angular. It is a concept being used more and more nowadays, and you should know about its principle and how they are getting used to in the modern framework. So if you want to learn more about the function programming, I have created a video on that, and I have added the link on the description section, and also you can find it on the right hand section of this video. You can go and watch this video. And apart from this, I have also added a document there if you don't want to watch video. If you're more interested into the reading stuff, I have also added a description link for the reading stuff like a blog. It's a really good stuff actually. So the third thing is the asynchronous JavaScript. Yeah, you will have to constantly deal with the asynchronous code in your web applications, since the communication between the front end and back end cannot simply happen instantly. Promises and now async await are there. So these are the tools to get the data from the back end. I mean, asynchronously basically. So for this, I mean, I have again mentioned all the videos in the description section. You can watch that. It's a really good video. And after that, I have also added a description, I mean, the document there if you wanted to read. Then the third point is the modules import, export, and Babel. You must have heard about the modules import and export, but Babel is little different. I'll talk about it. So, so when working with React, you isolate your components on separate files. You export some components from a file and import into another one. So basically, Facebook provides a tool called Create React App, and this is a command that you can run in your terminal, and that help us to basically initialize a React project in a convenient fashion. So what does it mean by convenient fashion? The Create React App comes with all these settings and configurations pre-built, and you don't have to do this manually, but it is super important for you to understand how these things are happening behind the scene. You should know about this, how modules are working, how you can modularize your application, how import and export stuff are working, and how basically files are getting imported, how files are getting exported, and what does it mean by export if you export a particular class. So basically, if you export a particular class, it will be available to import for the other components. So you can learn about it more. I mean, I have created a video for that as well. Like it is called a modular architecture. So I have a video for that. You can watch that one. You will clearly understand what it is actually. So the fourth one, which is the important one, is Babel. Babel is a tool that compiles modern JavaScript to JavaScript version supported by all the browsers. If you don't know, React use HTML and JSX, and Babel is what Babel is doing. Babel is just compiling your code into modern JavaScript. I mean, Babel is converting your JSX code into JavaScript. And so if you wanted to explore more how this thing works and try experimenting what the code you use to writing compiles to it, the older versions, you can watch another video. Next up is a little recap on the core ES6 concepts. I mean, I'm not going to explain everything. I have created a separate video for that. If you wanted to watch, you can watch this video, but I will tell you which are the features that you need to learn from out of ES6 basically. So the concept that you should recap before jumping into the next cutting edge framework. So here are a few ES6 concepts basically. So let versus const versus variable. Yeah, these are the really ES6 new features. Now you can use a local variable kind of stuff here, and it is I mean, scoping is the core concept for this thing. So I have a created video on that, and for all the list of ES6 feature, I mean, I have attached a video in the video section, so you can go and watch. So next thing is arrow functions. So arrow functions are really awesome. It will provide you a shorter syntax of the function and also give you a little advanced feature of the from the normal function actually. The third thing is modules. Modules are really important actually to modularize your app. And if you talk about Angular, Vue, or React, these are the framework which is using modularization architecture. So if you know that For modularization, we need to import and export stuff, and for import and export stuff, like these are the part of modules actually. This is how you modularize your app. So if you wanted to learn how imports works, what does it mean by exporting a particular class, so you can watch this video. I have attached the link. The third thing is classes. Classes are like classes are the ES6 part concept actually. These are nothing just a constructor function. There's a synthetical sugar. They just added the synthetical sugar on top of existing constructor function actually. But in the classes, we will have a concept of constructor, and you can extend a particular class by using extend keyword, and there's a lot of stuff you can do, inheritance there. So basic classes are very important actually. In the previous version of our React, actually they were using classes before using the hooks. So hooks are pretty new in the React and little confusing if you are new to the React. So I'll recommend you to learn about the classes first, then move to the other thing. But in Angular, they are using TypeScript, and TypeScript strictly use the classes. Classes are really good actually if you work with Angular. Then we have template literals. Yeah, this is the awesome stuff actually. They just give a little advanced feature to the string, and for using this, you don't need to use the inverted commas. You can just do the tick. I mean tick. I'm not sure what it exactly is called. This is a tick icon. So tick actually. This is available just beside of the escape key. Uh, so this tick actually, you just have to pass your string into this tick, and you can add dollar and object syntax. This syntax basically on your screen. So you can use this syntax that they get the binding out of the variable. You can directly do that without using plus operator like we used to do in string. And you can line a very long string, and you can uh, divide this string into multiple lines as well, and it will not break your code. It is really good stuff actually. Then we have spread operators. Yup, these are awesome actually. If you wanted to create a new array or new object, and you don't want any reference, so you can use directly these things. The syntax of the triple dot actually to create a spread operator and rest operator basically. Both are the different stuff. If you wanted to know the difference, I have created a video on that. Go and watch. This is really awesome. I mean, and then we have destructure. Destructuring is nothing just to divide your arrays and objects. So basically all those stuff of ES6 that I just mentioned, this list, I think 336 and to 8 elements. Basically, I have added this 8 items in the list. So just go and learn this 8 ES6 concept, and this should be really enough for you. Don't go anything else. Don't go for anything else actually. If you want to learn more, you can learn side by side with your React working and Angular working. But the thing is, I mean, if you spend all the time learning JavaScript only, then when you will learn framework or library, right? So you just need to learn this thing only, and that should be enough for you to jump into any other framework. I can guarantee you. Then we'll talk about the conclusion, what you have learned out of this video. So first of all, everybody is raging to know more about modern frameworks, and often forgetting how a solid grabs or vanilla.js can help in the long run basically. So hopefully this video motivated you to learn better something that has always been in plain sight but unfairly snobbed, right? So guys, yeah, that's all for today. So if you like this video, please don't forget to hit the like button. And if you have any suggestion or comment for me for this video, or if you wanted to add something, or if you want me to create any new video on different topic, so you can add this thing into the comment section. I'll really appreciate that. And okay, so that's all guys. Thank you so much for watching. If you're new to the channel, please don't forget to subscribe, because I always keep recording this type of stuff, so you will get always a notification, right? So thank you so much guys. Have a good day. Bye. Thank you for watching.